How Lamborghini became the king of motor vehicles. Whenever we talk about cars, it isn't easy not to bring up the name of Lamborghini. The Italian luxury car brand has seen the highest of highs and began with the lowest of lows. There isn't beauty without struggle, which is why Lamborghini has seen it all in the car business ever since it was founded 58 years ago. Before we begin, please subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss a video from us. Early years. Italian business magnate Ferruccio Lamborghini founded the company with one main goal: to produce a luxury touring car that will compete with the biggest names such as Ferrari. The first model that the company produced was the 350 GT. The earliest car that blew up with the Lamborghini tag was the Miura Sports Coupe, which used a rear mid-engine, rear-wheel drive layout. During the first decade, Lamborghini's growth was incredible, and the company was booming in the car market. When the 1973 financial downturn broke out, things went wrong. The oil crisis followed soon as well. Lamborghini then sold the company to Georges-Henri Rossetti and René Leimer. The company soon went bankrupt in 1978 and was handed over to Patrick Mimran and Jean-Claude in the year 1980. Mimran invested in the company heavily to expand it as a brand and make it more than just a car brand. Under the management of Mimran, Lamborghini's model line was expanded from the Countach to include the Jalpa sports car and the LM002 high-performance off-road vehicle, which received exceptional reviews from drivers. After a decade of putting in the work, Mimran sold Lamborghini to Chrysler Corporation in 1987. The Countach was replaced with the Diablo with the Jalpa, and the LM002 was discontinued thoroughly. Chrysler then sold the company to Micom Sedco, and V-Power sold Lamborghini to Volkswagen Group, where it was given under the wing of Audi. With so many ownership changes, the brand was hurt a lot, and many people believed that the company wouldn't survive. Since 1998, Lamborghini has been under the control of Audi AG. Speaking of the Audi era, we shall look at the transformation of Lamborghini cars over several years, starting from its foundation to now when it plans to go all-electric in the coming decade. Evolution of Lamborghini. Lamborghini has undergone a number of changes in its design over the years. They started with the 350 GT, and that design has been meddled with. Newer cars have been added to Lamborghini's roster in order to inject new and innovative ideas into their cars. We shall start the timeline of Lamborghini's evolution with the starting years, and then move on to different eras. Starting years. In 1963, the 350 GT, as explained earlier, was the first car released by Lamborghini. There were only 120 of these made. During that time, it was the fastest car in production. Lamborghini followed with the Miura, Miura S, and Miura SV in 66, 69, and 71 respectively. Continuing era. The next era began with the Countach and its subsequent models being released. This era was carried on for over a decade, from 1974 to 1985. These were the years where Lamborghini focused more on performance than aesthetics, which is why there were very few changes to the design of the Countach. The Countach LP400S, released in 1978, was the first time Lamborghini used scissor doors. Chrysler Era. Moving on to the Chrysler Era, the first car released was the Diablo in 1990. This car had an entirely new body and was one of the most innovative cars of all time during its release. This car had a record top speed of 202 miles per hour, and 3 years later, the Diablo VT came out. Cooling systems were added to this car along with an all-wheel drive. The interior was revamped as well. Audi Era. Since these were the major highlights of the Chrysler era, we shall now move on to the Audi era. The first car manufactured by Audi was the Diablo, which was introduced with a 6.0-liter V12 engine. Next came the Murcielago, which is seen in many music videos of the early 2000s. It was a complete redesign with several new tweaks introduced as well. 2008 brought the Reventon, an ultra-rare version of the Lamborghini since it was assigned the design of a fighter jet with sharp lines and creases being a significant part of its design. This was the first Lamborghini ever that offered ceramic brakes. A year later, Lamborghini came out with the Murcielago LP6704 SV, the fastest Lamborghini ever built. It could go 212 miles per hour, offering paddle shifting as well. Then, as the next decade began, Lamborghini rolled out the Aventador, Veneno, Huracan, and Urus in 2012, 2014, and 2018 respectively. The pick of the bunch is the Urus because it is Lamborghini's first genuine attempt at creating a supreme SUV. This SUV has everything one could want in it, and with Lamborghini's tag at the helm of it, it would be a no-brainer to splash the cash on this if you have it, of course. Present management. The current CEO of Lamborghini is Stefan Winkelmann, who is the brains behind the Urus, Gallardo, Murcielago, Aventador, and Huracan. Under his regime, the company has undergone a stable period of growth. More than 700 employees have been hired, with global sales being remarkable as ever. 8,205 units were delivered to customers, and the overall growth has been monumental. As for Winkelmann himself, he began his professional career in 1991 at the German financial services provider MLP, and he entered the automotive industry where he worked as a sales rep for Mercedes-Benz. Winkelmann then switched between marketing, sales, and management roles, and in 2004 he moved to Germany as he became the CEO of Fiat Automobile AG. In 2005, he became the president and CEO of Lamborghini for the first time. The story of Lamborghini is undoubtedly one of the history books, with all the struggle the company has managed to go through. That struggle eventually made them one of the biggest luxury car brands in the world. What is your favorite car company? Do you think Lamborghini makes the best cars? Make sure to let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe and turn on those post notifications. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.